Hare Krishna. The other day in class, I was recounting an anecdote, an experience that I had many years ago regarding the protection that we get from the holy name. And I thought that perhaps I'd just make a little short video about this to share it with a wider audience. So here's what happened. Back in 1988, I was working in San Francisco, and a fellow that was working in the same company, he was taking classes at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. The students there, they had the opportunity to bring a friend for a free reading of their aura. He asked me if I wanted to go, and I thought, sure, that'll be fun. Let's check it out. So we went there, and it was a large room. They had 4 different stations set up where the students were reading auras, practicing. And the way it worked is 3 students were sitting in chairs, and you would sit in a chair opposite of them. And with their eyes closed, they would read your aura. Don't need eyes, right? They're psychics. They're practicing their psychic powers. So my friend and I sat down about the same time, and across the room, after a few minutes, I could hear them telling him, your aura is red, blue, green, whatever. But the students who were supposed to be reading my aura, they were simply making big yawns. And this went on for several minutes, just yawning. I was beginning to think this is all bogus. So there was one teacher in the room. She was overseeing everything, and she kept walking back and forth and looking at me. She looked from my feet to my head and back down to my feet, and she was giving this kind of look like, Finally, after a few minutes, she says, excuse me, do you have a spiritual teacher? I said, yes. Oh, who is that? Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Well, he must be very powerful because we can't see your aura. You're surrounded by this column of white light and we can't see inside it. So sorry, we can't read your aura. Well, I understood from this experience that they had some ability, some psychic ability. And it was very interesting to hear that spiritual protection. You know, Srila Prabhupada always told us that by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha-mantra, we are protected spiritually, and we should do that so that we have spiritual protection. And so this is a nice confirmation of that fact. So finding that experience interesting, I signed up for the course. And when I came to the class, as soon as I walked into the door, the teacher of that class, he looked at me from my feet to my head. He said, oh, you're doing some kind of meditation, are you? I said, yes. He said, don't do that. We don't like that. So I just shined him on. Okay, yeah. The next week I came back to class, walked in the door, and he looked at me and he said, oh, you're still doing this meditation, are you? Don't do that. We don't like that. Okay. So the third week came back, same thing. I come into the room, he looks at me and he says, I thought I told you to stop doing that meditation. I said, yes, but that doesn't mean I'm going to. He said, look, you don't understand. When you come in the room, you disturb the energy of the entire room. So if you're not going to stop, don't come back. So I just turned around and left. Now, why did they say that? This is Berkeley Psychic Institute. These people are psychic. They know how subtle energy works. And they're teaching how when people think of us, especially people that we have a emotional connection with, such spouse, lover, parents, children, and so on, when they think of us, it makes an impression on our subtle body to the point where many times we cannot understand whose thoughts are whose. Are those their thoughts or our thoughts? Of course, most people don't even suspect that, but the thoughts of others impinge upon us and we take them to be our own. Again, this is tells us of the importance of keeping good association. So what they do in this school is they teach all the students how to clear all these other energies from their subtle body, how so that they can um, simply live their own lives without being impinged on by others. And it doesn't matter whether it's husband wife energy or guru energy or anybody else. They just keep everybody else out of your energy. Of course, I was not interested in keeping Prabhupada's or Krishna's energy away. That's what I wanted. And as Prabhupada has taught us, by chanting, this gives us spiritual protection. So it's a very nice confirmation of the fact, Prabhupada reminding us all the time to continue to chant for our spiritual protection. And this gives some indication of actually how that works. So thought that'd be fun to share. Hope you enjoy that. And keep chanting Hare Krishna for your spiritual protection.